Hello everyone, good morning. We are from group 5 here. We are going to present paper by the title Iranian Advertisements, a Postcolonial Semiotic reading by Azra, Ghandeharion, and Leili Badrlou. The the member of my group is, the first one is Novelina Filzah, and the second one is Syani Dwi F, and the third is me, Nadia Nur F. This presentation will be divided into four parts. The first one is the iconic mimicry, brands and logos. And the second one is linguistic mimicry, the inclusion of English language. The third one is visual mimicry, Western-looking models and the presence of female bodies. And the fourth is the challenge resistant to Western supremacy. So now we are going to the first presentation. The first presentation will be presented by Syani.
Okay, thank you, Nadia. So, um, I'm Syani Dwi F as the first presenter. We'll be open up the main discussion about today's. So, we are going to present the post-colonial reading. It is so the paper is actually tells about a number of Iranian brands and logos to discover the influence of Western hegemony on the design of Iranian advertisements. Next, please. Based on Beasley and Dennessy, they are stated that semiotics approaches towards advertisement show how specific words, images, and colors are able to persuade the consumer. Next, please. And here, the East Learners modernization, known as garb strategy, they tend to reject their own traditions because they seem look non-modernized, but actually is modernity tends to be the mimicry of Western society. Therefore, they are no longer identified with their native culture. So both the advertisers and consumers are vacillating between their own culture's traditional values and the Western culture's modern standards. Next, please. So we are going to talk about the mimicry. Based on Huddard, he said that the desire for a renewed, identifiable other is the subject of alteration between the colonized and the colonizer. Meanwhile, Baba said that mimicry is an opportunistic pattern of behavior that one copies the person in power in the hope of hoping access to the same power. Next, please. So, in this presentation, there are four main categories of Iranian brands or logos. The first one is food or cosmetics, and the second one is airline, the third one is clothing, and the last one is bank. Next, please. So we move on to the first part of our main discussion today. It is about the iconic mimicry, brands, and logos. Next. So as you can see in the slide, there are two logos that one of them is very familiar with your eyes. The first one is FZ from Iranian and McDonald's. So they are pretty similar in the images because the FZ is lighting colors. It has similar technique in using colors of red, white, yellow, and silver. Reverse to Baba explanation, the terms of mimicry or the imitation of the values and signs of a colonial society. So, as you can see in the photos, both of FSA and McDonald's have similar colors usage, right? So it presents belonging to a colonized society, imitate the characteristics of a colonizer's culture. So it means that FSA from Iranian is being colonized by imitate the characteristics of the McDonald's logo. Next, please. And then here we found the cosmetics brand. It is called Sorme and Sorme Cosmetics. The first one is Sorme with the word of age at the last word, and the last one is the famous cosmetic brands in America. So they have similar name. The first one, Sorme, is pronounced like Sorme, which means cold in Iranian. So you know that in Iranian, dominant culture belongs to Muslim because there are more 90% of Muslims living there. So they thought of applying Sorme encourage Islamic tradition in hadith narrations that the Prophet Muhammad applied coal and believed in its usefulness. So they used the terms of Sorme to the brand cosmetics. So it means that the Sorme from Iranian applying a hybrid cultural identity because it use their own cultural identity, which is from the hadith narrations of the Prophet Muhammad, applied code, and the other cultural identity from the American logos. So that's all that I can tell about the first main discussion. For the next presenters, time is yours.
Okay, so my name is Nadia. I will be presents the second discussion. The second discussion is about linguistic mimicry, the inclusion of English language. Next slide, please. What is it about? This part will be discuss how the inclusion of English language in a logo can be considered as a case of linguistic mimicry. This part introduced concept about prestige, technology, innovation, creativity, modernity, and memorability. Based on Sostari and Auerbach 2013, a great persuasive effect on a great persuasive effect on customers and grabs their attention. Next slide, please. So, here is positive effect in using English as logo and brand names. The first one is stereotype image, both of foreign country and their own country. So it is represent the country and the and the English itself. And the second one is modernity product. English language element and Western imagery can add positive connotation. And the third one is westernized logo. English as the linguistic mimicry of Western society. And the fourth one is caution of English. The designer apply English words to the target culture. Next slide, please. So here is the example of English as in an advertisement. You can see the logos. It is the oldest. It is the logos from the Iran Air, the oldest airline company in Iran, established in 1962. The logo shows resistance. You can see the logo shows has a homa as a, this is the Persian mythological bird. It has three separate characteristics. The first one is an eagle's head, a coast earth, sorry, okay. And a horse mane. The the Homa symbolizing Iranian culture and mythology and as a sign of resistance to Western hegemony. Next slide, please. So the third discussion is about visual mimicry, Western-looking models, and the presence of female bodies. Next slide, please. Connected to the mimicry in brands that take advantage of Western-looking models and superstar to negotiate with the Western hegemony. So the logos and brands uh, use celebrities are female to to make the advertisement more looks more modern and international because celebrities view as role models and draw attention. And when celebrities use as a model, the brand will be like recommended for the fans or the followers. Next slide, please. This is the example of a celebrity model, Novel Leader. This is a famous leader brand in Iran, has been using by Bahram, Pradhan, and Reza Zahdani. This brand employment of celebrities because the man uh, has a Iranian look like the Western. And Novin later established in 1991, and this advertisement shows a Western supremacy. Next slide, please. The second one is Mara Litter in 1995. This advertisement shows a femininity. The portrayal of woman provides the consumer about femininity, which is acceptable in Western dominance of Persian language toward the brand's name, and the equality of men and women to attract the attention of female consumers. So that's why the advertisement use female as a model. Next, that's all from me.
Okay, hello, my name is Novel, and I would like to present the last main discussion of this presentation, which is the challenge resistance to Western supremacy. So this is the example of the advertisement. Actually, we are going to discuss the logo of Kesha Farzi Bank. This is a government bank in in Iranian, and this bank serves as the first and only specialized financial institution in Iran's agriculture. Founded in 1933, and by using a post-colonial semiotic analysis of this bank logo, it will reveal this second thing. The first is how all its signs indicate its resistance to Western hegemony. And this logo is a great significance since it is one of the rare cases that shows no instance of negotiation with Western dominance. This is the bank logo you can see on the slide. And then the second thing that I would like to talk is the color analysis, which is based on Islamic culture. There are three main colors here, which are green, gold, and white. So colors play an important role in this logo to deliver the message of the resistance. Actually, the main color in this logo are green and gold. Uh, and white also, which have a special roles in Islam and particularly in Iran as a country where most of the population are Muslims. The use of this color, which are sacred by Islam, is related to this slogan, which is Islamic banking. So in an Islamic culture, green and gold are associated with paradise and eternal happiness. The significance of these colors can be inferred from some verses in Holy Quran, which read, "When finally reaching paradise in the afterlife, the residents of paradise shall be given ornaments therein of bracelets of gold, and they shall wear green robes of fine silk and thick silk brocade interwoven with gold." And white is another dominant color, which is perhaps the second most associated color with Islam, representing peace and serenity, and it is regarded as holy and sacred. Another instance of resistance is represented in the iconic position of wet in the center of the logo. You can see the logo. So wet not only resists Western hegemony and modernization, but also supports the bank's claim in caring about the improvement of the agricultural state in Iran. Wheat is also the most fundamental, widely used and respected crop in Iran. Iranian tradition respects wheat and all of its products, especially bread. Furthermore, Quran also justifies the religious significance of wheat, like the act of resistance is amplified by word match relationship like Homa. And then Kizaversi Bank also exploit Persian calligraphy or like Nastaliq that is very typical of Iranian culture. It also signifies that this bank is completely Iranian in its choice of words, images, and colors. So in conclusion, by applying postcolonial semiotics, the present study argued that the Iranian advertisement of different brands and logo like food, cosmetic, clothing, airline, and bank negotiate with the rest of the Western hegemony. The analyzed cases reveal some overlaps or crossovers, though the case of negotiation is more widespread than the resistance. So it can be concluded that although Iran is an anti-colonial country, it seems that as if the consumer culture is mostly in favor of mimicry and negotiation with Western hegemony. Therefore, all contradictory aspects like the negotiation with and resistance to Western sides at the same time present a post-colonial connotation because the designers, the advertisement, and the consumers appear to be like post-colonial subjects, although they may be unaware of the issue. This, this study will pave the way for future researchers to be better analyze advertisement is in a post-colonial setting. Okay, that's all from our presentation. Thank you for watching.